muted it. So.
All right.
All right, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll let you get settled. There you go. Why don't you go ahead and start with the statement?
Well, first of all, I'm really proud of our guys, and secondly, I'm really glad that I don't have to play Luka Garza again. At least the way it's set up right now, we don't. But Iowa deserves a ton of credit. They scare you to death as a coach. They run great offense. They've got so many weapons that can make shots. I thought we gave them a couple in the early stages of the first half, especially Wieskamp. Bohannon hit a couple tough ones. He's just a tough little sucker that makes hard shots. And then I thought the job Adam Miller did on CJ Frederick was tremendous. And I thought Kofi was outstanding. I thought Kofi's performance in the first half was just dominant. Not just because he scored 18, but the job he did defensively. He stayed out of foul trouble in that half and was very good. And then I think we had 26 points under 7 seconds in the first half where we were able to get out and run. That helped us establish the lead. But I love seeing all of our points in the paint, in a game that, forced them to probably play more zone than they have been playing anyway. But again, it was, Curbelo was not in foul trouble. Excuse me. Curbelo was outstanding, both ends of the court again, and obviously made a huge steal, picking Bohannon's ball. So, again, beat a great team. Really excited, and we've got a great opportunity tomorrow against a team that's obviously playing great in Ohio State.
Okay, we'll start off with Robert Rosenthal, Mark Pearson on deck, and then Scott Ritchie in the hole. Go ahead, Robert.
Coach, I asked Kofi about the timeout with 2:45 left, and Iowa had cut it to 5. Kofi said the best timeout was that it's winning time. So can you talk me through that timeout and then what you saw from your team after that?
Yeah, I mean, when you play Iowa so much, you know that they're going to make a run, and that's what they do. And for us, it's been about our defense and the opportunity to get one shot. And then a lot of times you've got to execute and match them at the other end offensively. But this is the attitude that our guys have. This is the connectivity our guys have. It was relaxed in the timeout. It was a stern look, like, hey, we got to get a stop. And, Curbelo makes one. Trent blocks a shot. We limit them to one shot. And then we came down and got opportunities and we're able to put the game away. But that's the belief this team has.
Okay, we'll go Mark Pearson and Scott Ritchie.
Brad, earlier in the year, we talked about Adam Miller not getting on the floor, Io getting after him. Today, Andre picks the pocket of Bohannon with about 3 minutes left, hands it to Io throws it down. How key was that play, and what does that solidify? Because he says the coaching staff preaches the little things throughout the entire game.
Winning plays. It's the difference of diving on the floor, reaching down and picking it up. And if we pick it up, we made it. We don't get the dunk. We don't get we don't finish the play the right way. And those are all the detail things and the little things that don't show up in a stat sheet that everybody wants to read points and this and that. That's just a play that wins games, and it's our culture. And and I'm glad to see Bello listen.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Shannon Ryan on deck.
Brad, you mentioned last night that getting back to the semifinals is maybe a place where Illinois should be as a program. So where does making that tournament championship game kind of fit in the broader goals you still have for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a sense of, I don't want to say urgency, but what last year was taken away from us, and we were playing great at the end of the season. And I think that the attitude and the focus that our guys have, even from that, even though we're a different team, it's all positive. This is a great league. I mean, we just beat, what are they, fourth or fifth in the country? It's hard to get back and get into a final. And I'm proud of our guys for doing that. And it means a lot for our program.
Okay, Shannon Ryan, Jeremy Werner, Brad Sturdy in the hole.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it seems like as well, you guys are just really connecting almost at a higher level each game, and you're getting contributions from every guy kind of at a higher level. Is there an art as a coach to getting a team to peak at this time of year, and how do you kind of build toward this, and how have these guys done that?
Shannon, I don't know if there's a simple answer to that. I think you work at it throughout the course of the season, and it's like, fine tuning a Ferrari. It just takes a little bit here and there. It's not just one thing, and it's chemistry, it's roles, it's personalities, it's finding the right offense and the right defense that fits, and who's successful in those roles. And so it's not just one thing, but we are becoming more connected and playing for a purpose that's bigger than themselves individually, and it's about the team. And that's, it's all we preach and we talk about in the locker room.
Okay, Jeremy Werner and then Brad Sturdy on deck. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Brad, you pulled aside Luka Garza after that game. I'm just wondering, what was your message to him, and what was it like seeing his career up close?
Yeah, 4 years. I have so much admiration for guys who aren't ballyhooed and 5 stars and this and that. And I watched him play in AAU, and and all of a sudden now he's the National Player of the Year and probably will be for a second time. And I knew he was going to be special in the first game his freshman year. I think he had 19 or 20 against us. And I have so much respect for him, how hard he works. He's a great competitor. And like I said, I told him that, and wish him nothing but the best in his future endeavors. But he is one heck of a college basketball player.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, we got Brad Sturdy and then Derek Piper.
Coach, in the second half, Kofi only gets 8 minutes, but he's plus 13 on the plus minus. Against the zone, it seemed like you struggled a little bit when he wasn't in there. How do you get them going against the zone when Kofi's not in the game?
Yeah, and again, we were just a little bit out of sync. I don't think it had as much to do with them as us. And again, I thought we turned down some shots. We missed some easy opportunities. But again, I liked the shots we were getting, and it just wasn't that the ball went in tonight. But you have those nights. But when we played those guys zone, when they played a zone in the first game, the first meeting, our offensive efficiency rating was through the roof. So again, maybe just one of those nights, but again, give them some credit. They did a good job mixing it up.
Hey, Coach, for Kofi to go from last year in Iowa City, his first matchup against Luka, to be a real learning lesson all the way to this, how have you seen him progress through just this battle with Luka, and what's been the biggest difference from then till now?
Yeah, I think he's gotten a taste of experience. I think he's an unbelievable learner. I think he's taken things from Luka that he learned in those early games, and everybody else he plays. I mean, there's no night off in this league with bigs. They all do something exceptionally well, but that was as dominant a first half as maybe anybody could have, and to do it against him, was I'm sure extra meaningful to him. But again, he's a smarter player. He's more intelligent, and he's much more experienced now.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Nico, and then Marley, Gavin, and then we'll go to Joey. Go ahead, Nico.
Brad, you kind of touched on it earlier, but you guys haven't quite hit that win or go home part yet, but you guys got to Indy with championship aspirations. How important is it for you guys tomorrow to close out the Big Ten tournament with a championship?
Well, I mean, that's what we try to do is win. It's not the end of our season, but it's a mentality that we're striving for success every time we go out. So is our opponent. Our opponent's darn good, and I think that it's a challenge every single night in this league, and it's very, very hard to win. That's why we try to celebrate them, and tomorrow's no different. We've got our hands full against a great team and a well-coached team.
Okay, and then we'll go Marley, and then Gavin.
Coach, there was a moment in the second half when Iowa was shooting a free throw and your guys were kind of in a little embrace and Iowa's guys were kind of spread out. I mean, I know you talked about that little embrace that they have, in those moments when you're shooting free throws, but I think that was, from where I saw it, just a moment of how your team culture has been reflected on the court. How much does that culture change the outlook of a game?
Great observation. I don't know if it affects the other team, but it sure does us. And again, there's a positive vibe about being able to lean on somebody and touch somebody. Know you've got a guy to your right and a guy to your left, and that's what we talk about, and that's what that moment is about. And as corny as some may think it looks, it's pretty meaningful in our locker room.
Okay, thanks, Marley. Gavin, and then we'll go to Joey.
Brad, DeMonte, Io, and Andre combined for 23 rebounds today. We've been seeing this all season, but that's pretty nuts. They all say it comes back to you and what you've instilled. What do you have to say about that?
It wins. It wins. There's more to the game. Everybody's got to be a champion or a star in their role, and it's maximizing individual ability. And DeMonte is a terrific rebounder. So is Curbelo from the guard spot, and you go on down the list. Jake and his activity kept balls alive in the first half, and it's just a constant theme in terms of our effort and what we do, and that's something we got to continue.
And then Andre said that Tyler Underwood, your son, obviously, has been a big help to him this season, giving him pointers, being on him, making sure he's staying sharp mentally and composed. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Tyler does a great job. Tyler's got a coach's mind for a young guy. He's going to be a terrific coach someday, probably to his mother's chagrin. But I think the one thing that he understands our system. He's been around it. He's still in practice every day, practicing. So he's been through it. He knows what I'm trying to get across. And sometimes when I'm not happy, or sometimes when I'm getting on somebody else, and Dre has really embraced that. And it's nice to have somebody help lead you through that, and they've got a special bond.
Okay, Joey Wagner, and then Matt Stevens. Go ahead, Joey.
Brad, there was a three-pointer, I think, that Adam hit that slowed an Iowa run. Andre had several plays that kind of slowed runs from Iowa or swung some momentum. You mentioned those guys aren't freshmen anymore, but when did that happen? Like, is there something in your mind that you remember thinking or can look back on and kind of recognize that they made that jump?
Not really, Joey. I think everybody does it at their own pace. And I think what helped galvanize us a little bit was Io's injury. We saw those guys step into different roles, and we saw a lot of the actions we've been running for Io that we ran for Ace, that we ran for Bello, and those guys excel at them. They're talented players. I'm so giddy over the job Ace did on CJ Frederick. That dude can run now, and the job he did was tremendous. That was something he couldn't do in the Baylor game the first time. So you grow up and you learn and you have experience, and now it's not something new. You know how to handle it, and they do it at different pace at different phases. But man, their maturation has been fun to watch.
Thanks, man.
Okay, we'll go Matt Stevens, and then Brockway has a hand up. So go ahead, Matt.
Brad, I'm just curious what goes through Andre Carbello's process. Baseball people would call it his makeup that allows him to have a game like he did Friday night, sleep on it, and then turn around and maybe flush it as quickly as he did, because you've seen it before with young players that one game can become two can become three, and then you've got a problem.
Not with him. Not with him. He's an alpha. He's different. He's not wired like that. He's wired to be great all the time, and understands that, stuff happens in the course of the game where you may not be your best, but next game, and he's just got that. He's just wired that way, and it's really positive to see.
Can that be coached, or is that just in a player when he starts playing?
No, I think with young guys, you try to coach it a little bit, just to make sure that you're positive, that they shake it off. I think that's again where Tyler is really good, and guys don't get their head down, or guys feel like they let the team down. And but when it comes to throwing the ball up when the lights come on, he's pretty special that way.
Okay, we'll wrap up here with Brockway. Go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Io had 9 assists today. I know that obviously he's known nationally as a big shot maker, scorer, and so forth. How much of that aspect of that game is important to your team, and how much of that is even maybe a tad underrated?
Well, everybody talks about his finishes. I think he led the league in assists, and I'm pretty sure he did. And that's what great players do. Good players make themselves better. Great players make their teammates better, and that's what Io does, and whatever it takes. And it's just it's the game's simple for him. He sees it, he understands it, and he's got a passion for winning that allows him to make the right play.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.